Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Whitty's Gear Review. Today, we're going to look at something that a couple of the subscribers have recommended. And I went ahead and picked up a couple items that they had, that the company manufactured. And we're going to kind of take a look at those today. So the first, I guess, we'll look at them both together at the same time right now. I did do a short on the Roxon tools. So the first one we have is a KS2E Elite mini multi-tool. And the second one we're going to have is a Roxon hammer tool, which they're calling the Rhino camping hammer. So that's the two that we have. On the back of both, it explains what all the tools are on each, in case you didn't know. Let's go ahead and look at the K2 first, or KS2 Elite first. So just a plain box. You've got a case, you've got some instructions, and then you got the tool itself. Not a bad little carrying pouch. If you choose to carry in a pouch on a belt, you do have that option with this tool. Maybe it's a little nicer than some of the other cheaper cases, but it's nothing to write home about. Is anything else in here? All right, we're gonna put the case aside and go ahead and open this up so y'all can see what's in here. Okay. So first, let's start with an overall outside look of the tool itself. So you have a little logoing there. That is a deep pocket clip. It's got the right amount of spring, so it's not going to be super hard to get into a pocket, and it's not going to just easily fall out. G10 handles. And you can tell there's a lot of stainless on this. One upgrade to this tool, which I thought was awesome, is, let's make sure we get to the right one. I think it's just right here. If you can see that, on this knife, they actually made it with D2 steel, which is pretty good for a utility knife or a multi-tool. A lot of multi-tools are 440, 5 CR, 3 CR, but this one has a D2 blade. Now, that's the only thing out of the tools that's D2, but it's nice to have a D2 blade. And it's a good-sized blade. I think, all in all, we're going to have to do some measurements because there wasn't a lot on Amazon. So, overall cutting area is 2 1/8. And the blade itself, total length, is right at 2 1/4. But it only has a single-sided, thumb stud, because that's all you're going to need to access it. Right hand only. You do have a liner lock in there, which gives you a nice little cutout there so you can get to that liner lock. I have bigger hands, so I have to kind of go at an angle. But you can get in there. There's enough access to get into the tool. But nice little liner lock up. It seems to lock up well. You can tell it's all the way to the center of the tool, so it's a solid lockup. The blade seems like it's super sharp from the factory. So let's go into the next tool, which is probably one of the better tools, in my opinion, like on these Roxons, is the size of the scissors. I mean, that's just some big, beefy scissors with a good handle, good ergonomics. Can you hear that? No grinding. It sounds real smooth. That's how scissors should sound. Typically, what we do with scissors is see how they cut. Right? If they cut through paracord easily, then they'll usually cut anything you need them to. And that is effortless. So back down here. So that's pretty good. We have no problem with them cutting. No problem with them cutting through paracord. We just made a mess, but hey, that's part of it, right? Okay, moving on. So the scissors are good. They are super sharp. I mean, you saw it had no problem cutting through that paracord. And like I said, the ergonomics on these scissors are real good. Let's get into another tool because I missed it the first time I was looking at this tool. It's right here in the very end. You can see there's just that small little piece. And that's your tweezers. Kind of look, see if we can't catch a piece of skin. And yes, you could pull up your skin. So that's usually what I see. If you could grab your skin with it, if you can see there. And my hands are dirty, guys. I've been working on my knives today, so. But yeah, decent set of tweezers. I mean, good enough in a pinch, right? This is a small multi-tool. And this also locks. No, it doesn't. So that's just a tension ball detent. So the scissors don't lock. Keep that in mind. Knife blade does with a liner lock. We'll flip the tool open because this doesn't open. It doesn't flip open. It doesn't have a set of pliers or nothing like that. But you do see that you have a small little glass break on that end here. Then you have this, right? You just press this, which I kind of like. Those things are flush. All the tools are flush. There's no little nail nicks or anything like that. You just press up on this. Boom. There's your tools. And that's what you're going to have. So you have a can opener, bottle opener. On the very end, small fillet or flathead screwdriver. You have your awl with your threader. You have a file, your Phillips, a small little tape measure, and nothing else that I can see on these tools. So for the main tool set, that's what you have. What I do like about this is they're locked with a button lock. So that's nice and locked. Press up and you're locked in. Press up again. You can access your next tool. So we're going to go to the awl. Push everybody back in and it's locked in. I will say out of a lot of the awls, this one is actually almost knife blade sharp. Let's get a piece of paper. I don't know if it'll cut paper, but it seems sharp. And of course, we always cut our thick journal paper. I mean, it's a little bit thicker than normal paper, but yeah. I mean, it's not, you know, premium blade sharp, but it's pretty sharp for an awl. While we're doing some cutting tests, let's go ahead and lock this up. Let's go back to our main blade and see what this D2 will do. All right, that's how it should cut. So it's a pretty sharp D2 blade. So the blade cuts well through paper, thicker paper. I know that, you know, we do these tests. Y'all see it all the time. But you'd be surprised how many of these little multi-tool kind of things you buy that will not cut through paper. I mean, if it won't cut through any kind of paper, like a lot of things won't cut through plastic either. Especially scissors. Let's check those out. Sometimes the scissors, they bind up in plastic. Especially like plastic bags. Don't fail me now. Oh no, this is going to have no problem. This will probably cut anything that you throw in front of it. I mean, it makes quick work out of this. So I will say scissors are a big plus. D2 blade, also a big plus on this tool. You know, glass break, I guess, I mean, it's there, right? Didn't cost any, well, I said didn't cost any extra. It's not like it was an upgrade. If it would have been an upgrade, I probably would have left it off. But seeing that it came with the tool, perfectly fine. And the last tool we have here, which is kind of weird on this tool being so small, is it's got a pretty good size saw. I mean, look at that. Let's look at this saw as far as length. From cutting teeth, you're looking at a 2-inch saw. Overall, if you're just looking from the back to the front of the saw, you're looking at about 2 3/8. And it is super sharp. I have no doubt that would cut through small pieces of wood. Anywhere from about probably 1.5 to 2 inch in diameter would be fine. Anything bigger than that would probably just be wearing you out and wasting your time. But I do like the fact that it has a saw on it. You know, no pliers, anything like that. So if you're going to carry this, man, carry you a set of Knipex or, you know, any kind of small pliers or anything like that with it. And then you've got a pretty decent little kit, right? Or you can carry this in conjunction with the next tool we're going to look at. Now, the only thing I noticed, and I'm going to try to fix it, guys. If I do fix it, I'll add it to the end of this video. I thought, man, that was great that it came with all these extra bits. And these bits are perfect for working on knives because you do have a T6 and a T8. You have a small little size 2 flathead. You have a 000 Phillips, 0 Phillips, and a 2, and then just 2 hex heads. Then you have this little extension that fits on the end there, so you can add your 4mm bits. And this is the downfall of the tool. Like everything else about it, but that. If you see, that's almost to a, you know, it's got a little bit of flat spot, but you've got a magnet in here that's trying to grab onto that very tiny little tip. And it just does not work. Now, it will work for taking stuff apart. My dogs are fighting with each other, which is typical. So let's go ahead and, so sorry about that, I apologize. Let's go ahead and put this on, and we'll work on this belt clip. So no problem using it. I mean, these are Loctited. Our light lock has Loctite on them, but I've taken these out so many times doing these videos, so it's not doing anything. So no problem using it. You're a little far away from your work. You're kind of way out there. It feels like, you know, I guess you can get a little bit closer up. It is a little wobbly, if you can see. But in a bind, I mean, this isn't going to be your primary tool for working on your workbench, right? If it is, then it's probably not going to be the right fit for you. But in a bind, if you're trying to fix a pair of sunglasses, something on a bike, kids toy, any electronics, something like that, and this is all you have, it will work. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll work. You know, it's not like you're using a precision driver like this. You're just using this tool because that's all you have. But I'm going to see if there's a way that I can fix this and make it a little bit better. And like I said, if I'm able to do that, we'll jump back into this tool at the end of this video. Now, the next thing, I thought this was unique, right? I've got it's not really a multi-tool. It's just a small hammer. It's got a stake puller on one end. Like at the bottom down here, it's got just a little hook where you can pull stakes out. It's got a claw on one side that you can also use to pull out stakes. And then it's got the hammerhead. And I carry that with me every time I go camping. It's in my camping backpack. Then I saw this, which it looked like it was so much smaller. And my other tool is small, but it is heavy. And I was just looking for something that might be a little easier. Or a little lighter. And I guess I went into the wrong end of the box here. Let's try that way. You got your instructions, some extra tools, which we'll get into. And then this one, you have the actual carrying bag or carrying case, which this is actually a pretty nice case. So it's a hard case. It keeps its shape. You got your little Roxon logo there, your belt loop. This is a nice case. I don't know if I would carry the tool like that very often, but I think you could get some quick ties and put it on some molly and keep it on the outside. Or if you want to keep it on your belt, put it on your belt. But this is a tool. Now, these are G10 handles that are on this. These are not. They're some kind of plastic. I didn't write down the name because it was super long. But just keep in mind, this is like a polyurethane plastic or some kind of plastic. It's not actually G10. You see it says Rhino right there. But going into this tool. So you do have your hammer, which I'm pretty confident it would be fine for small stakes, small nails, stuff like that. It seemed to be decent ergonomics. I mean, you have the metal on this side, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't feel bad. Now, the tools on this thing are 5CR15 stainless steel. So this one has, you know, of course, you have your mini hammer. You can see there you have a small little claw nail puller. What they're calling the, if you press down right here, spring-loaded tool. So you pull here, it locks into place. You see that little tab there? Coincides with the little hex head or the little nub inside there, and it locks. You have to actually pull that, and it opens. But you have your lineman's pliers. You have your standard pliers, and then you have your removable wire cutters for strand and solid. You do not have a set of crimpers down at the bottom. All you have is a mechanism that opens and closes this thing. I really don't know what this is. It doesn't fit any bits that I can think of, so I don't know. It doesn't fit a 1/4-inch bit. It goes right through there. So it's an awkward size, whatever it's for. If you know, let me know. But there's nothing else on inside here. This is just a handle other than this. And I guess this is the camping part, right? Got a small little ferro rod that lives in the end of this thing. Not bad to have it. You know, might as well use the end of the tool for something. But we're going to go ahead and lock it back down there. And then on this end is where we'll get into everything else. Now, this one's not like the other tool. You actually have to pull these tools out. And there's a nail nick right at the very end of the tool. You've got your saw. Which is pretty much like the saw on this one, just a lot bigger. There's a nail nick there. Small flathead, can opener, bottle opener, and then of course you got your wire stripper. This one, you have this super long offset Phillips. You can see that. And then you have a file only on one side. There's nothing on this back side. When they do stuff like this, guys, I almost wish they would just put a diamond cut file there for sharpening a fish hook or something. Just put the diamond file on the back instead of having all that wasted space. It just seems like for what you pay for these tools, they ought to utilize every square millimeter of it. I wanted to see one thing. So it fits on here as well. So if you have both of these things, you kind of can double up. And see, I wonder if there's something wrong with this tool. With this Phillips, if it wasn't just milled right. This one still wobbles, but man, that magnet onto this part of the tool is way better. It doesn't come off. I'm thinking on this one, I hate going back and forth on you guys, but there's got to be something different. I think that's it. I actually think this tool, don't throw it off the table. I actually think this collar's too short and it's actually grounding out. No, it's hitting all the way to the end. And it falls off of that one. This one, it doesn't come off. Doesn't fall off. I don't know. I'm going to write him about that because I think that's odd where it just slings off of this one like it just doesn't want to stay on there. And this one, it doesn't come off. And I mean, there's not a lot of difference between those two tools. Looks about the same. And the other thing you have is your main blade. These all lock, kind of like the old Gerbers. You got to pull down these and lock it, but there's your blade. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, so you're looking at about a 1/2 inch longer blade. But you have D-tool on the little one, or D2 on the little one, and 5 CR15 here. And that's the only tools on this thing. Now, I do want to point out something. Great idea on this tool, but bad design. And I'm going to show you why. How are you supposed to hold that thing? Look at the dig in. If I'm trying to cut something, am I going to cut it like that? No, you want to bear down on it like this, and it is poking the crap out of my wrist right there, right into that vein. So I thought, all right, well, there's got to be an option. Maybe that's why they had this hard case. Stick her in there. That's the most awkward grip that you would ever have, and I would not. Life or death, yes, I'd use this all day long. But put it in my bag willingly, thinking that this is going to be a backup saw. Look at the ergos on that. It's just horrible. I don't understand why they did this tool the way they did it. And maybe I'm being too, nitpicky. But look at that. If you're trying to grab that thing, no matter where you go, it's going to stab you. And I thought maybe if they turned it upside down, and actually, that's not bad. They should have turned this upside down. Let me look at something here. Nope, it's not the same lockup, so it's not like I can turn it upside down. You're just stuck with it the way it is, which is horrible. I mean, even if you choke way up on the tool, I guess, well, no, it's still getting me down there. So a horrible, horrible selection on this tool for the way that they have that saw. I imagine it'd be like that if you were using the knife as well. Matter of fact, any of these tools. Let's see Let's take the saw. We know that it sucks in that configuration. And let's look at that. Yeah, how would you turn that? Look, so slice your wrist. You're trying to turn the Phillips. How did this make it out of the design lab? Did they not try it and say, you know what, you can't even turn the screwdriver? It's gonna slice somebody's wrist right there. Boom. I don't get it, because this is a good tool. This is, in my mind, not worth the money. Won't make it into my bag. If I just needed a hammer, I like the hammer and the pliers. I do like that in a combo. Let's get the knife back out of there. And I don't have any fingernails, so this is just like almost a waste of time for me to try to get anything out. I gotta pull that out. Let's give her one more try. Got the knife. Nope. Get that. If I'm grabbing comfortable to use a knife like normal, look how deep that's poking into my skin. Left a mark. That's junk. I mean, to be honest, guys, if you've seen one of these and you're like, man, that looks like a neat tool. Kind of what I thought. Didn't even envision it when I was looking at this thing. Is there any other way you can use it? Maybe I'm just missing something. No, that really doesn't work. Let me know what you think. Am I missing something here? I don't think I am. These don't come off. They don't move. It's not like you could take this and flip it up. I think if you could flip it up or flip it out of the way or flip these down to the bottom or something, but look at that. How are you going to use that? It's all these tools, in my opinion, down here are a waste. They're a waste of time, effort. I just think they failed on the design on this thing. But up on top, when you get to here, the ergos are good. I mean, yeah, this thing works awesome for this lag bolt. Even on the small end. This part of the tool functions like it should. It's got a good grip on that screw. Still don't know what that thing is, if you can see. It's like a little gear, doesn't do anything. So the top end of this tool is nice. The bottom end is useless. What do y'all think, guys? Do you have one of these? How do you use the thing? Look at that. That's just a total miss in my mind. Honest opinion, don't waste your money. It's $30. Yeah, don't waste your money. This guy, if we could figure out why, maybe it's not necessary. Like I said, maybe I'm being too nitpicky, but why this doesn't really fit on there that well. And I got this. It had a 30% off coupon. They're like $30-something, and I got it for 20-something. So it wasn't a bad choice. It is a good tool. I like the tool. There's a use for it. It's small. It's super lightweight. You're looking at total length. You're looking at 3 3/8, an inch wide by 3/4 inch deep. No, it's not even 3/4 inch deep. Yeah, I would say round up 3/4. So it's not a big tool. Super light. Then, if you have this with it, then you have to carry the pouch with you. So you could fit these in there. But I guess if you're carrying a backpack, sling bag, anything like that, yeah, carry this. then when you get to where you're going, put this in your pocket, and then you still have these tools if you need to change for whatever reasons. Yeah, this, I won't even talk no more about it. Big fail, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you think about the Roxon tools? I know a lot of people like this one and the companion and the flagship and all of those. I guess I just bought the wrong tool by buying this. I'm going to give them another shot. I will reach out to them. I bought these with my own money. They did not send this to me. So as a consumer, I'm going to reach out to them and let them know what I thought. Because, I mean, this company has a 25-year warranty on this stuff, guys. 25 years on craftsmanship. But then they put something like that out, which I don't understand. Anyways, guys, do me a favor. Leave me a comment. What do you think? If you want to support the channel, you know the 3 ways. Merch shop, buy me a coffee, subscriptions. I do want to say the best way to help the channel is to comment and to give us a thumbs up. It helps put our content out there. Here lately, a lot of my videos haven't been pushed out there. People have been telling me that they've had to go and they've had to actually search for my video under my name because they just weren't popping up, even with their notifications on, which I think that's kind of weird. So it's hard to keep relevant is what I'm thinking. But anyways, guys, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Love y'all. Like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.